At Gangama Hill in Mbale City's northern division, the home where Kakungulu lived until his death in 1928 had deteriorated to near collapse. Harsh weather, water runoff and neglect had eaten away its walls and roofing. Even Kakungulu's gravesite had fallen into a sorry state. Compounding the tragedy, more than 80% of the trees he planted over a century ago have been cut down for timber, charcoal and brick burning. The surrounding environment, once protected by thick indigenous forests, is now exposed to landslides, floods and prolonged dry spells. But an effort to restore both the site and his legacy is now taking shape. With support from the British Council, the Cross-Cultural Foundation of Uganda, CCFU, has restored Kakungulu's historic 1905 house and transformed it into a museum. Inside, visitors now find carefully preserved artifacts including Kakungulu's original bed, his Victorian dressing mirror, a wooden sideboard, drums used to summon soldiers, walking sticks, spears and plates.
I'm inside the museum.
The museum has become a culture and educational center, attracting more than 2,000 visitors in just 1 year. Barbara Babwetera Mutambi, the Cross-Cultural Foundation's executive director, says climate change and environmental degradation have damaged numerous heritage sites across the country, Kakungulu's included.
This museum sparkles debate among the people who visit it. What is climate change? How does it affect us? How does it affect our heritage? How does it affect our heritage sites as well? But also it bears the story, the history of a human figure that was very critical in the formation of Uganda as a nation, and that is Semei Kakungulu. His history, the controversies all that surround him, we documented it.
The Cross-Cultural Foundation of Uganda has also started a tree planting program to reverse the environmental destruction that continues to cause landslides and floods. Dr. Shannon Kakungulu Chitaimbwa, a grandson of Semei Kakungulu, confirms the house had nearly collapsed before restoration. He hopes the museum will become a hub for tourism, research and education.
Semei Kakungulu, my grandfather, settled on this hill in the year 1912. He built this house as a retirement home between the year 1905 and 1912. After his retirement from official government service, he decided to establish his retirement home here. He died in this very place on 24th November 1928, and he was interred in this house on my left, the mausoleum, which we call Mpumode. Translated, it means I have rested. When the British Council and CCFU came here on a visit, they found that the family had already started on rehabilitation of some sections. They asked us what they can do to get this place up and running. I had already my ideas in the head. I said, we want to turn this into a tourism site. And so they said, okay, write a proposal, send it to us and we shall see what to do. So I wrote the proposal. We wanted to convert this into a tourist site. We wanted to convert it into a heritage conservancy and also a learning point for environmental and climate change mitigation. Because Semei Kakungulu was one of the champions of the environment. He planted millions of trees in the eastern region and in the northern region. Some of them are still present, especially in Gulu, around Gulu Inn, around in Lira, in Soroti, Kumi, Bokedea, Nabomali, in Bale, and in Jinja.
He's also calling on Ugandans to protect the remaining indigenous trees planted by his grandfather, warning that continued degradation will worsen floods, landslides and extreme weather.
Semei Kakungulu's biggest legacy is in the planting of Movole trees. Much of it has been destroyed. Up to, I think, 80% of those trees that he planted have been destroyed. And we call upon the public, we call upon the civic leaders, we call upon the religious leaders to preach against destruction of precious timber trees, and if they are destroyed, plant two.
The family has also requested the Uganda People's Defence Forces and the Uganda Museum to provide a replica of Kakungulu's historic gun, currently kept at the National Museum, so that it can be displayed in the Mbale Museum.
We want the government to make a replica so that we have a copy here, a non-functional copy here so that the people actually see what instruments he used to expand or to create the kingdom, the country of Uganda, expanding into the eastern region.
Then we have that special walking stick.
They are appealing to the Ministry of Tourism to support further development of the site.
In a nutshell, we are preserving his legacy, we are preserving his historical artifacts, we are preserving his mausoleum, and we are also preserving the environment. And I think it is good for schools, it is good for researchers, it is good for events, we can hold events here. It is also good for educational purposes. So in a nutshell, please come to Semei Kakungulu Museum. You will not be disappointed.
Local residents say the restored museum is an anchor of pride and opportunity. Siraj Kamleja, a resident of Nakusisel, believes it will keep Kakungulu's legacy alive for generations while creating income for the community.
The decision to transform his home into a tourism site ensures that his legacy is preserved for generations. It guarantees that even those who come long after us will understand that Semei Kakungulu played a foundational role in shaping the civilization of this region. This makes us deeply proud of our cultural heritage and strengthens our commitment to preservation here in Eastern Uganda.
Umukuka Jude Mike Modoma, the cultural leader of Bugisu, describes Kakungulu as a visionary environmentalist who shaped the region's identity. He believes the museum will strengthen both cultural pride and tourism.
Semei Kakungulu Museum, established in Mbale City, serves as a cultural and educational hub, preserving, showcasing artifacts that highlight Kakungulu's contribution to Uganda's history. The museum's focus on environmental conservation and indigenous knowledge underscores the importance of preserving our natural heritage. As we reflect on Kakungulu's life, acknowledge the complexities of his legacy.
More than 100 years after Kakungulu built his home on Gangama Hill, efforts to preserve his memory are finally getting momentum. What was once a crumbling historical site is now a growing cultural landmark, one that celebrates a man whose environmental and social contributions continue to resonate today. But as the museum's curators and the Kakungulu family warn, safeguarding his legacy requires more than preserving artifacts. It demands a renewed commitment to protecting the environment he devoted his life to nurturing.